Greetings and welcome to Find Serenity. My name is Daja, for those of you who don't know, and I am currently stewarding land in rural Costa Rica. I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity. So, first of all, what does it mean when I say I am a steward of this land? To steward is to care for, to cultivate, to be in a relationship with the land. So I do, of course, own the property, but rather than talking about ownership over the land, which I really believe we all have rights to the land as indigenous beings of the earth, so we can't own the earth, but we can have permission to care for certain areas of the earth, to cultivate, to show love to be in a balanced and healthy relationship with. So I'm stewarding this land that I'm living on, and I am living off the grid. So I have a solar panel and all my electricity is coming from solar, and there's a small river that runs through the land, and that is where I get my water. I also dug a well, just doing some more work on the well before I can start using that. So that is my life, living in the beautiful Osa Peninsula of Costa Rica. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 27 years old. I was 25 when I first started looking at this land, and I made the first payment, and then I turned 26 shortly after making the second payment. And I was 26 when I moved here. I've been living here for a year and a half and all by myself. I do have a dog and a cat, but I'm all by myself taking care of this property, and it has been a really life-changing experience. I didn't really grow up like in the country per se, or grow up learning about farm life at all. So this is all brand new to me. I'm learning about growing food. I'm learning about caring for land. I'm learning about living off grid. I'm learning about sustainability, the importance of noticing how much waste we create, the importance of noticing the impact that we have on the earth, and seeing very clearly the relationship that I'm in with the earth. I came to this property when it was just a field. It was nothing. There was nothing. There's no electricity even on the street still to this day. And it was just plain piece of land, lots of trees, some open space, which is where I have the house now. But it was very raw. So I was here camping and was able to build this pretty simple structure made just of some tree trunks and then mostly this green material that they call here saram. But yeah, and I have a concrete floor, everything you see, everything about my cabin, my blood, sweat, and tears went into all of it. I worked really hard on everything that you see, with help, of course, but with very little knowledge. This is where I am now. So my intentions with this space, the purpose of having this space is, first of all, to live in tune with nature. Like I said, creating less waste, living a more natural, intentional life, really conscious of how I'm treating the earth, how many resources I'm using and where my resources are coming from. It's also to have a space, because I did, purchase the property, to have a space and have something that I can pass on to my children. And even if my children don't want it, maybe my sister's children or my brother's children or my friend's children will want the space. And it's just to always have a space to be. I feel like that's so important for us as humans, to just feel deeply grounded and connected and like we belong here, like we have a space. And something that people can't take away from us, something that we know on some level, it's ours, it's our safe place. So I wanted to create that not only for me, but for community. Because I've created this space for myself, also my family can come here, my friends. I also host retreats here. For those of you who don't know, my main offering is inner child healing sessions. I'm not talking about that here, but I offer inner child healing retreats. So I've already had on the farm itself, maybe 16 retreats, and maybe less, maybe 14 retreats here on the land, both private, couples, small groups. I've had ceremonies and group activities here on the land, gatherings. And this space has already, in just a year and a half, served to help so many people heal, in particular people of color. My space is not exclusive. All are welcome. But it just so happens that mostly Black women have been coming on my retreats, and other folks of color as well, just from the community. And we need this. We need a space to heal, a space to rest. The benefit of being in rural Costa Rica is the water is clean here, the air is clean here. Because I'm living so naturally, the soil, the earth here, like on the farm itself, is healthy. So the frequency of that, it's deeply healing, especially for people who aren't used to living like this. When people come from the States or from wherever they are in the world, or like from Europe as well, people have come and get grounded and feel the energy of this space that I have created with so much love and so much intentionality, real healing takes place. So this is a place to be of service to my community, both my local community and my community abroad. And it's, by living this way, it's also a reclamation of my ancestral right to be in tune with nature, to grow my own food, to learn how to tend to fires, how to collect water, how to notice the health of water, all of these things that I know ancestrally at one point I knew. And within my lineage, there was a time when I knew these things and I forgot along the way, especially in my life, you know, in my lineage's lifetime in the Western world. And this has been a reclamation, a reconnection with my lineage, which I know at the source lived more in tune with nature. And my purpose, I feel, is to reclaim that, to relearn that, and to also share that with others. So that's the intention of the space, to be a healing space, something that I can pass on. I don't have to worry about paying rent. I am free. I can use the space for all my beautiful creative projects, all my offerings. I'm planting trees that are going to feed me and also those who will come after me. So that is what I'm doing here at Finca Serenidad. And now to get to the good part. I'm reigniting the Power 400 fundraiser. So in 2021, when I first found this property and I realized I wanted to purchase land, actually I had found a different property that was more expensive and then I found this one. But I knew I wanted to purchase land. I did not have any savings. Y'all, I came to Costa Rica fresh out of college and I've worked like some teaching jobs since then and a lot of freelance teaching and just working for myself. And now I'm full-time caring for the farm, doing my retreats, and offering my inner child healing sessions. So I don't have a job per se where I'm getting a large paycheck where I can just take that money and invest it into the farm. And I wasn't as well when I decided that I wanted the land. So instead I did a fundraiser. And my mom came up with the idea to do the Power of 400 because I was like, okay, let's raise $20,000. With $20,000, we can buy the land and we can get started building. And I did the calculation and it was like 400 people sending $50 would help us to reach our goal. And I was like, I know 400 people for sure. I bet we could get 400 people to send $50. And I was telling my mom this and she was like, let's call it the Power 400. She emailed everyone she knew. She helped me. We promoted it. I think in the end, we got around 70 or 80 donations. We did not get to 400. But y'all, like over the course of about a year, or maybe it was just the course of maybe 6 months. I can't remember. But anyways, however much time it was, we were able to raise about $4,000. Maybe $3,000 and something, close to $4,000 through the fundraiser. And in the end, my mom and my brother basically put up the rest that we needed to get the land because we got it in 2 different payments. So, yeah, I kind of gave up a little bit on the fundraiser. You know, I thanked people who sent donations, of course, but after a period of time, once I was already on the land, I just, I stopped giving attention to the Power of 400 fundraiser. I had already purchased the land, so I was like, okay, we were successful, even though we didn't get the 400 people to donate $50. So I've reimagined. I'm keeping the Power 400 going. I do still very much need to be creating consistent funds in a large enough quantity that I can get real work done on the farm. I can live on a lot less here than I would live on in the States, but I'm living on a lot less. Like the money that I'm making from just giving inner child sessions, and I teach a little bit here and there at the library, it's just enough for me to survive, feed myself, feed my pets, transport myself around. Basic needs are being met. But it's not enough for me to do things like invest in more materials that I need for the farm. I want to build a yoga deck. I consistently need to get the grass cut because it's a lot of property and I need help tending the land because there's certain things I don't have tools for. I have trees that fall and I need a chainsaw to cut those things. So there's a lot of things that I need. And my goal is to create, through the Power 400 initiative, an income of $400 a month coming purely from donations that I can use to work on the farm every month. $400 is not a whole lot of money. Some of y'all make that in a day or a week. For me, I'm lucky if I see $400 in the month. So I've already got a Patreon, and I have been growing on Patreon. If you're already on my Patreon, thank you. You're already helping me. You're already a part of what's supporting me. But I would like to create enough income through my Patreon to, like I said, get work done on the farm. Every month, I know for a fact I can have regular land keepers, so I can hire some people. So this money, I'm not even keeping it for myself. I'm giving it right to some local people here who can come and help me. I have a large property. It's 2 acres. There's parts I haven't even seen in months because it's also full of trees. So I can get regular tending, cutting down a lot of the fallen trees. We can use some of that wood. So just cleaning up and tending the land in a way that me as one woman, I can't do all this work alone. So there's a lot of things that this money will help with. And so on my Patreon, I have 3 tiers: $5, $10, or $15 a month. I currently have several people on the $5 a month plan and actually several people on the $15 a month plan, but I have 0 patrons on my $10 a month plan. So I am calling in 40 people who, of course, are not already subscribed to my Patreon, who want to help, who see my vision, who resonate with it, want to support, to subscribe to my $10 a month tier on Patreon. What you receive on my Patreon, I already have a vlog series showing everything that's happened so far on the farm, from camping to having the structure, everything. So there are currently, as I'm making this video, 17 vlogs. There's always more being created. They're not coming out every single month, but usually at least every other month there's a farm vlog. Along with, I have an inner child healing course. I have several photos from photo shoots on there. And I have a lot of unreleased music on there. All right, so if that's something that resonates with you, go over to my Patreon and subscribe. If you don't want to join the Patreon, but you still feel called to send a donation of any amount, I'm going to leave in the description, of course, my PayPal information, my Cash App information, so you can send. Any donation helps. I'm not holding on to the money, y'all. The money is going right into my local community. It's going right into the people who help me with the physical work that I'm getting done here. And it's so valuable because I'm not creating this space just for me. It's for all of us. It's for all of you too. If you ever want to come and be in this space, if you ever want to come to volunteer, if you want to come and do a retreat. I have retreats coming up in March, April, and August of 2024. And yeah, check out my website. Go browse around. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions or want to offer any other advice or support. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening and for donating. Peace. Hope you find serenity.